begin. Waking up. Gotta wake up my voice a little bit. Time for some more Arcane Arts and Crafts. Today the green stuff is hardened up. I'll get into that more in just a moment once I'm done plastering this Twitter link over every surface I can find. Streams, there we are. Anything else we need to think on? Nope, I think we're good. We're good for the most part. Alrighty. So hopefully I will be a little bit louder this time. And we have got some work to do today. Oh, sorry, knocked my mic. So, as a recap, when we last left off, we had done a few modifications to our set. So, we made this lovely base. I still will probably need texture paint to actually paint this, just to make it look right. Just because this base is very flat and glossy. It has no texture to it at all. But that's what I ordered the base. I couldn't see that in the picture. It's not that much of a problem. But plus, it would be fun to learn how to use texture. I have restored the toes that broke off here. And we have real solid connection with our green stuff that let us repose the leg there, which we're probably going to end up filing down to make sure that it's not quite so ugly looking. And then we'll probably end up putting something over that just to kind of clean up how it looks. Another thing we will be doing today is I have cut a marker in here somewhere. Or repose. Yeah, right there. And we are going to be pinning the dreadnought to his base. So Esolf here will be pinned through the center of this foot, and it will go through, and I will probably end up folding it on the bottom for now. I'm not gluing him into place yet because I don't want him to interfere. I don't want any of this stuff to interfere with his painting or anything like that. And then once we've done that, I think it might be time to get brave and start modeling the molten section of this buggy wreckage. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't get to my mic in time. So let's see. And of course I need to work on getting this attached to him. So we're gonna start with the base. Let me just see if I can locate my pin vise. Funny, just a few days ago I had this all like clean and organized, and now it's a massive mess once again. But hey, that's how, that's how I work. Let's see what we got over here. I don't strictly need the pin vise. It's just a good way, because these things, these tungsten bits, do not actually fit in my pin vise. the gripping part is too thick to go into the grip for the pin vise. However, that being said, there's my pin vise. However, that being said, if I just take this and I just take this out and I just slot this, you know, screw this back down, the tungsten bit will, because they have these, why are you not coming free over there? What's, there we are, that was weird. Not the pink one. The tungsten bit sits in this hole just like this, and the round pink rubber bit, and I just use this to apply pressure while drilling. And so here we're just going to do a little drilling. This actually shouldn't be too difficult. Actually, this one I probably don't even want that. I probably want to hold it like this. There's a lot of interesting. Okay, hold on. I might need to do a little surgery here. Let's get that all the way through there. Push that in so that it's actually got a hole to slot into. Alright, we'll try this with this, and we'll do it proper this time. And so it lets me hold it like this with the palm of my hand, just like a regular pin vise. Oh, we have first-time chatter. Hey, Team Touchable, welcome. Welcome to the Arcane Arts and Crafts, where today we are playing with our little plastic toys. More pointedly, we are making our little plastic toys. Interesting. This does not seem to want to go through this thing. Okay. I'm glad it's lit. This is, we're working on our Dreadnought, if you're familiar with 40k at all. This is our Dreadnought, our Space Wolves Dreadnought, Isolf Iron Peak of the Irontide Wolves, which is my little custom chapter that I'm doing for my first run of Arcane Arts and Crafts. This is all 3D printed as well, so I 3D printed all of this. We're not punching through this plate here. Just gonna kind of rock this back and forth in here. I'm doing this to try and work a pilot hole in there so that the bit starts to bite. And it will go through, because I want this to go all the way through the plate, but that might not be possible. This plate might be a different plastic than the other stuff that I'm used to. Because it's not going... Oh, maybe. Doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Try and keep this at an angle where you guys can see. Do this around, around. So where'd you come from here, Team Touchable? It's a question I need to start asking my viewers. Hey, how'd you get here? And how are you doing? Yeah, we're not biting into the plate on the other side here. All right, we're gonna have to... From Germany, huh? Nice. I've never been. I'd like to go one day. We're gonna try and do this from the other side. That was more along the lines of how did you find my stream though? Because I've been trying to figure out where, make sure I double down on the advertising. You're streaming too? Just streaming too? Oh, you're streaming as well? Here, let me check it out. Oh. Neato, I'm gonna hit you with a follow. There you go. Just looking for art? Yep. Just kinda... We biting now? Are we biting? I think we're biting now. Well, maybe not. Oh yeah, no, we're biting, we're going. Keep going, you can do it. Go, go, go. Round and round and round we go. No problem. I like to follow people who talk to me, so that way I can see if they're doing anything. There we go. We see we're actually... I don't know how well you can see the shavings, but we're actually biting into the plate now, so now we can actually bore through. Unfortunately, I think I've ended up in completely... We should be able to work with this once it comes through the top. So the big thing is that we got to keep going until we get through the top. No, I'm from Texas. Okay, so, give me 1 second to just give this a few more spins while I check. So what I am doing, and no, we are not making much progress on this plate. Jesus, this thing's plastic. It's hard, and I thought this resin was hard. So what I'm trying to do is this is the base that the whole model goes on. Alright, and it kind of is going to sit like this. And what I'm trying to do is run a pin through his foot, through the bottom of this base, so that I can put him on, take him off, put him on, take him off as required. Yeah. Put them on, take them off as required while I'm doing my modeling. And then it'll also help me make the final attachments. The problem I'm having is that these bases that I ordered, I didn't print these bases, are very hard plastic. And I'm actually really struggling to bore through it with my tungsten drill bit here. Especially since it seems I've totally missed. We're gonna have to try it again. And unfortunately, I don't have a Dremel. We should do, though. Because we are getting some progress. It just doesn't want to keep going. It may just be slower progress than I think it is. Clean our drill bit, otherwise it gets all gunked up. A drill? Yeah, that would actually probably work pretty well. The problem is I do not have a drill that will fit this. And I'm not about to go get one of the actual power tools out of the garage, because that will just literally shear this thing in half. You gotta be careful when you're doing small stuff like this. Like a proper like wood cutting or carpenter's power tool will literally just obliterate this thing. Especially with how hard it is, if I go too fast, it'll crack. Which actually last time is a trick I abused with the hardness of this resin in order to break it in the ways that I want. For example, the back end of this thing has been sheared off. I just kind of cut it to create a fault and then just applied pressure with my nippers and it just pops the whole back thing off. The same thing can happen to these really hard plastic plates if I try to force a drill bit through it. So, kind of got to do this by hand, unfortunately. You could, I wish I had a Dremel. I just don't have one, because a smaller Dremel would definitely do the trick here, and I'd just go right on through. Get this in here and just... I might have to find another way to attach this, because this is actually... we'll keep persevering, because we actually have... Well, I'm as far as my face, I am working on being a VTuber. To have an avatar. I don't know if you see my little wizard hat in the lower right corner. This is just my PNG tube. I have yet to actually get my model rigged, which would have emotions and it would rock and track my head and stuff. But I have not got it rigged yet. Oh, that's fine. I'm not one of those that's trying to... I just did, didn't I? Oh, man. I just snapped my tungsten bit in that. Of course I did. A VTuber, which I need to find my forceps now. Hold on. Forceps, did I put them back in here? No. Where you at, forceps? A VTuber is basically someone who, instead of a face cam, uses a digital avatar. And yeah, my I just snapped my tungsten drill bit because I was not paying attention to what I was doing. There are my forceps. Now hopefully I can work it out. But honestly, this already seems like a... Yep, it came right out. And this one's probably still serviceable, but I'm going to set it aside for now. And just get a different one. We might just have to improvise something. Tell you what, instead of trying to go through the plate, we're just going to go into the cork here. But yeah, I'm what's called a PNG tuber right now, because I don't have a fully rigged model with face tracking. So here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna bore through his foot first. We're just gonna try and rely on the cork for now. Yeah, see, this bore's way easier. The plastic in that the brown cork is actually there to provide the shape of rocks. So once I've painted them, they'll be like a gray color of like broken stone and rubble. So this is the base. It's a terrain base. So, tell you what, let me finish drilling this. Let's just see how far in I've gone here. Probably go a little further. And I'll kind of show you what's going on here. So these are the legs. They stand on the base like this. And here's the torso, who I'm going to have mounted like this. And I have his arm here, and this is a engine block from a whole nother print, which is this stuff with the wheels over here. And I'm slotting it into his hand like this, like he's dragging the engine block. And it'll be like back here somewhere, something like that. And the idea is that, I don't know if you're familiar with Warhammer 40k at all, because that's what this is. It's a 40k model. It's a dreadnought, and he's going to be stomping over the ruins of a buggy that he's like blown in half and stuff. And so this is like terrain in the base and the back half of the buggy, and this will be the engine block from the buggy, that kind of stuff. And then once I've assembled all this, or mostly assembled it, I'm actually not going to assemble it all the way, I'm also going to paint it. I don't know if you can see my boys over here. This is the first like proper run of my little workflow here for creating my custom chapter, my army. But if I go ahead and show you, this is the pack leader Rayloff. I went ahead and gave him a name. I just was fun. And this guy was 3D printed, assembled, and send you a gray one, like an unpainted one? I suppose it's not beyond the realm of possibility, but shipping from Texas to Germany, yeah, maybe. If there's something in particular you wanted to maybe wanted me to maybe model. The design of the Raw? Are you referring to the... When you say Raw, are you referring to the head that he's holding? The Gene Stealer head? The 3D models are STLs that I got for free online. I'm still working on collecting the credits, because I kind of, before I started doing this, I wasn't going to do it for stream, so I'm still kind of going through the process of collecting the credits to put up, because I want to do that, but... no, we want this folder. I believe this was done by Red Warden. Don't quote me on that though, because I'm actually not 100% certain. But these guys are actually made of a bunch of different parts from different people who did different bits, and then I printed the bits out and like cut, shaved, and adjusted them, and in order to assemble them. And then I don't know if you can see his base there has like the paneling. That's actually, I made that from boxes and copper wire, and this stuff was like with the green liquid. Fortunately, the lighting is not as well in here right now because something has happened to my light over here. Give me a second to see if I can actually turn this back on. Yeah, no, it's... I don't know what's up with that light over there. But yeah, I just printed out the components. As you can see, this is like some components for a driver I was thinking maybe I'd put on. But yeah, maybe for my next project I can print it, model it, and then send it to you. Like I'll model it on stream, send it to you, and you can paint it. So we're just gonna go a little deeper with this, but we're pretty much through here. This is some aluminum craft wire. Just gotta. We'll probably take a little extra just to be sure. And so this is what I use for my pin. Is this aluminum craft wire? Just gotta make sure it actually fits in the hole, which it do. Just got some stuff here. This is super glue. Unfortunately, I cannot work with plastic glue because I'm working with resin components rather than plastic components. Yeah. Get that in there. Slide that on in. We're just gonna set this boy upside down. Upside down-ish. And we'll just use you to prop. We're just gonna let that dry there. Actually, while we were... I think we're gonna have to let this dry first. But yeah, I've done a whole squad. This is a 5-man squad, so I got this guy with his like green it's supposed to be eel skin is what I was going for. Didn't quite come out as eel skin. I do like it. It just doesn't quite look like eel skin, like what I wanted it to look like. This guy's similar. This one looks a little bit better, a little bit more like a bright, like, sea creature skin. These guys have more of the fur. I really like this guy. This guy I think is my favorite, because I had to do some cutting and shaving to get them all hunched over like that, compared to the other guys who are standing tall. Got a bloody knife, some blood on his base. Again, forgive the lighting, but one of my lights went out, and it's a lot more visible then. I actually could probably commandeer a lamp from somewhere if I wanted to, but we're not going to do that right now, because we doing stuff. So, we just kind of scoot. So now that this pin is in, what I would do is I think... So now that it's in, we can probably cut it a lot shorter. Although, I'm gonna do a quick scrape here just to get the excess glue off of this end. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'll slow down a little bit. But yeah, here, I'll get you this guy up again. So he's got his thing. I don't know how well you can see the details that I painted in on the bolter here. Come on, autofocus, you can do it. I'm actually going to change these, not on these guys, but I actually, last stream I did some 3D, my first attempt at a little 3D modeling of creating my own bit. And I actually have a new shoulder pad that's going to go for them. So in right there. It's still a little too long, huh? I need to stop touching that because that's it's not dry yet. Okay. But I need to know the position of these feet before I continue. But I do need to cut this down a little bit more. So that way it slots in and out of the base. And then when I finally go to glue it down, normally what I do is, if you could see on the bottom end of these guys, this right here, this is a pin that is going through their foot. That goes all the way through the base, and I fold over and glue into place. And that holds them onto their base very strongly, but we're going to have to rely on contact surface for this one, just because it's... These plates are very, very hard. And I was not anticipating that, so... Because normally the plastic base I get, I can bore through real easy. Most of the plastic I end up working is actually softer than this resin. But here, this, for some reason, this hunk of plastic that I ordered to act as the base... Mostly because it's just too large for my mine to print, and these ones I ordered as well, just because, like, I just literally, for like a couple dollars, bought a bag. No. Aw. Well, the toes came off again. We'll fix that in a minute. The toes have been a bit of a stickler. Normally in, like, when you get buy one of these kits officially, like one of the plastic versions of this kit, the toes are separate, but I couldn't find an STL with separate toes, so I'm just kind of dealing with them popping off right now. And we can just fix this again in a minute. Okay, now we have the rough position of our feet. Okay, where's my blue tack? Here's my blue tack. And this is my blue tack. I have a whole bunch of blue tack. And basically this lets me stick stuff together without having to actually glue it into place. Just slot this in where it roughly fits. Except that blue tack didn't want to hold there. It is not glue. The blue stuff is called blue tack. It is a malleable plastic putty. That's kind of sticky. And what it does is it lets me, like you see, I've used it to put it on here. And this lets me set it on without having glued it in place. I'm still kind of working on making sure this fits properly. So it's going to kind of go like that. I think it's best that we trim this component right here off. So we're just gonna get brave. We're just gonna slice this off. It's nice and neat, like. Actually, might be better just to take it off here. There we go. I could take it off here. Nah, I think that's fine. So I've kind of shaved this down so it doesn't quite interfere with the leg as much while being in the hand. And I'm trying not to glue these two components together because I want to paint them separately because it'll be easier to paint that way. Okay. Oop, I bumped my camera with my head. Alright. So, I think this is where we have to be a bit brave. So, this is called green stuff. You'll note that it is, in fact, not green. It's blue and yellow. And what it is it's a 2-part plastic, epoxy plastic putty. And when I mix, like I cut a section off, and I mix it together, it turns green. And it is a plastic putty that I can shape to do things. For example, all of these, like wolf fur loincloths, like this, and the eelskin shoulder cape here, all of these components, these are made of green stuff that I shaped and sculpted to look like fur or the skin, then painted over. And what I'm going to do, because the kind of narrative that's happened here is Isolf is fighting a orc buggy. That's what this engine belongs to. That's what all these parts are for. That basically runs him down. It's called green stuff. But a buggy runs this guy down, and in the ensuing fight, he blasts it with his plasma cannon's been sitting over here this whole time. With his plasma cannon, which is actually, I believe, called a macro plasma incinerator, something fancy like that. And he has blown it, and basically blown it in half. Oop, I bumped it with my elbow. Half, and is holding the engine in one hand, and the back end is here. And I'm actually going to have a wheel on here. And I'm going to sculpt like a melted section on the back end of this, and right here on this, that are like... blink. I'm going to sculpt a like molten section on each of these, like they've been hit with the plasma weapon. How long does it take? The actual sculpting can vary. This is my first time sculpting something like this. It takes about 24 hours to harden. Because like last time, which I did a couple days ago, I'm just gonna pick the whole thing up. If you can see that section of green stuff in there, I cut off and reposed this leg. Because this was printed as one piece, but I've reposed this leg. And I'm probably going to use a file to smooth that down. And then once it's smoothed down, we'll see if it looks too out of place. And if it's still too out of place, I'll put something over it. But I needed to know the location of the feet and the rough location of the arms. So the arm's going to kind of slot in like this, which is going to require some cutting here. So we're going to start with a not too large strip of green stuff. I'm just going to commandeer some leftover drinking water out of a cup here for some water. Because green stuff is pretty sticky. So you want to make sure you use water to keep it off your tools. And I actually going to retrieve some tools. So we're gonna try and start small. Okay, and we've cut a strip off. Right, and actually, a tip, if you ever decide to use green stuff yourself, there it is that this section where they touch in the strip can sometimes have already cured. So you want to cut this section out, otherwise your mixture might end up lumpy. Now we just take these and we kind of... I like to do this twist first, and kind of stretch it out. Twist, twist, twist. Kind of just fold and twist. And you can already see, I don't know if you can see, it's already turning green. Now I didn't actually get a lot here. I'm just kind of forming the base shape, and then we will put the texture over it as we go. So we have our shape here. We kind of just want to, I can already tell you I'm going to need way more than this. Set it here. This is kind of just a basis guide almost. So I think kind of like dragged out like that. Yeah, we're going to definitely want some more. We're going to want a lot more than that. Get ourselves a nice big section here. Alright, we'll pop that out. Set that over there. Mix in this much larger piece. And this still might not be enough, because this is actually a fairly sizable section, but we want to make it kind of runny. Like, a little bit lumpy, but kind of runny. Like, because it's supposed to be molten metal. It's metal that's melted and then cooled. Actually, I might paint it to be like white and orange, like it's still hot. Twisty, twisty. Because I am sculpting with some substantial body here. But I will probably still need even more than this. I should... Hold on, let me get my fingers wet because it's starting to stick to me. Kind of want to glorp it on like that. Yeah, there we go. Let's kind of get one of my tools here. I'm actually going to have this run down. Oh, stay there. There we are. So this actually seems to be about the right amount. I'll want a little bit more to go. Just kind of hold this guy in place. I want a little more to go over the edge right here, just to kind of give it a little bit. Whoop, and he just fell out, but I still have his rough foot position, and that's what's important. Now we kind of like push into these rounded lumps. I actually think, is this the right tool? No, we want this tool. Here we are. No, it's fine. We don't need him there anymore. We know about where we're going. Kind of smooth this over. Okay, can add a little more. Don't need a lot more here though. I'm actually going to leave the center section in this time because I'm hoping it'll be a bit lumpy, because I'm going to be adding a little bit on top of here. Kind of hit that out. No, wrong one. There you are. Make sure this tool's wet. You can also use like Vaseline for this to keep it from sticking. And that helps. Just kind of keep going around. Just hitting this. And I think we've about done it. Tuck that in just a little bit, just to give it a little more body. There you go. So we got this kind of sludgy trail here. And once this is painted the right colors, this will look like a trail of molten metal. Good stuff. I do think I need a little more because I can see a spot where I want to have another runoff. So, and again, we're going to keep the middle part just because I kind of want this to be a little lumpy now. Because I'm not doing the underbase, I'm doing the top part. Which is fine if this part's lumpy. Because I'm kind of trying to make it a bit lumpy. Yes, I am a wizard hat. I am a wizard from beyond time and space who manifests as magical headgear. But I need to wait until a few paychecks so that I can pay for a rigger. But yes, I am Rakalor the Arcane. And this, Dungeons and Dragons, and a little bit of gaming is my my gimmick. Create a slightly deeper partition right here. Kind of move this in. And there we go. And now it's got the extra leg off. So, for that component, slot this in gently, turn it this way, and so that's how the molten metal will run behind him. And then the good orc tire will be on here, slightly catty-wonky. Okay. So now that leaves me with the question of the hand. and actually one of the things I'm going to do here, so I'm going to blue tack this hand into place. If it will work. Just kind of slot that over. Okay, it'll actually require some more blue tack. Where's my box of blue tack? Oh, still bumping stuff. Aha. This is not the open one. One moment, I've just stood up looking for some blue tack. Green stuff drawer. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll have to just pop one of these open. All right. So now we've got some more blue tack, my blue tack strips. And so we've blue tacked the hand into place for the purposes of sculpting. And I'm going to split this piece of blue tack into two. So that I can blue tack the torso into place. Oh, this guy's gonna need some support. Because he's, well, that's not too bad. I think part of that is the missing toe. So we can hold that in place right there. We can actually push this down just a little bit just to get that imprint into the green stuff. I'm gonna pull him off for just a moment, because he is not perfectly stable. Actually, on that note, I'm going to take this moment to glue. Oh, well, it would help if his pin wasn't just folded on itself. That's probably not helping. So I'm just gonna... Well, this one needs a little help here first. Yeah, I wouldn't mind little painting tips, because painting's kind of, you know, I'm not like an expert at it. Yeah. So now with this being flattened, give this a few moments. A few more moments. Well, this isn't actually for sale. This is mine. Like, I plan on keeping these. Well, I don't actually have a lot of experience painting. I did paint. I have an army on a shelf over here that I did paint, but I did that a long time ago, and it was very... Wow, this does not want to stick. Probably because it's stuck to me. Come on. You can do it. Get in there. Alright, you're just gonna be like, alright, we'll glue you in later. Yeah, trying to figure out an easy way to show you, but let me just grab a handful of dudes here. So this is some old work of mine, back when I actually bought, oops, Games Workshop plastic miniatures. These are converted from pilots, guys with plasma guns. You'll see that I didn't do any bases or anything for them. They're really simple. Here's a sergeant. I did this when I was just out of high school. And here's probably the piece I did that was the best at the time, was this guy. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, autofocus. I'm proud of his backside here, because the belt was actually really good. Actually, I don't know if you can see that, I spent a lot more time on this guy. And, as far as the squad here, these are my, like, trial run. My, like, proper trial run. Thank you. But these were, like, my trial run for some new techniques, as well as being 3D printed models in the first place. Okay, set that there. Set that, turn it like that. I'm gonna use blue tack here. That is way too much blue tack. Just kind of pop this off. Like a Hulk, like the Marvel superhero? Interesting. Interesting. That is an interesting position that places us in. No, it was like a Marvel chess set or something. Because these 40K ones are also part of a tabletop board game called Warhammer 40K. I actually keep intending to stream it. To like stream, because I play it on Tabletop Simulator, because there's not really a good place for me to play it in person here. Okay, so I'm left in a slightly awkward spot here. So I don't know how well you can see this, because the blue tack, and I can't really move him too much because the blue tack is not that strong. But the back end of our engine block here is landing right in our molten puddle. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, huh? Oh, okay, sure. Here, I'll type it in chat to you. There you go. This is a conundrum. Alright, we're gonna have to get fancy here, because get that in there. Alright, so we're gonna have to leave this blue tack in place while I kind of green stuff these two components together, because there's not really a reasonable way to pose this model without these things being connected. So, but that's what we have to do when we're doing conversions like this. We have to adapt and improvise. I'll let you guys see me doing the mixing so you can see it turn green. I need to get my fingers wet again. I have a little dish of water over here. I normally use it for painting, but right now it's for green stuff. Also, I'm not gonna lie, this is looking good already. Dip. I'm gonna blend this. I actually think that's about the extent of what we need. This leaves me in an awkward spot though, because I just put this on. Which means I need to kind of support this component. Here. Oh, Hero Clicks? Is that what you're thinking of? Is that the like the superhero one where they got the clicky stands? Is that called Hero Clicks? Okay, I'll type it in. Hero Clicks. Something like that. Alright, so I think I'm actually legit gonna have to... Yeah. When you said the clicky bases, I've never played it myself, but I've seen it at the... I used to go to a store called the Fat Ogre, and I've seen it there. But So it looks like I'm gonna have to leave this blue tacked into place overnight in order to make sure this stays in position while this cures. But like, well, nope, that's not gonna work. I was gonna try and get a better angle on this, but it did not want to cooperate. There we are. But tell me, I'm gonna lean him back just a little bit, just kind of support. But this does not look awesome. All right. Where did that toe sneak off to? Yeah. Glue the toe in. In fact, what I should do is I should glue the toe to the cork, and that'll be my good spacer for my legs. So that way, when I take him off and put it back on, I can use the toe as a guide. So this needs to be filed down just a tad. Just around the front edges here. Just kind of slots in like that. Alright, honesty, I can probably glue this piece in right now. There's no reason. I know exactly what it's doing. I kind of have his final pose in place now, so I can, while he's like this. Gosh, he looks awesome. Like, wow. Here, let's try this. Slot this up there like that. We're gonna be looking at a wall for just a moment while I mess with my camera. Oh, what's going on here? Whoa! Why is that twisting like that? So that should be a slightly better front view of him. Check him out. He is looking awesome. I do need to find a place to put the Ardbusta license plate on this front engine block. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and refix my think I still need to go up one more notch. There we go. Now we're back to place. Wow. I'm actually just like amazingly impressed with this guy currently. He looks really good now. Gonna add some more of his bits, because I'm gonna add the shield here. Just gonna tilt it in like that. Excellent. So there's his shield. Now this is something that has eluded me thus far because it doesn't want to fit. Little rocket launcher. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to attach that better. Now, what else do we have? I have Owl of Mordecai, the double-headed piece here, which for some reason is not attached there. I do not understand that. Well, we will deal with that as we go. Let's see. Alright. Probably have created some sort of attachment to it just to keep it in place. But we will manage for now. Just gotta clean up. Okay, now just smart. Because this is already glued in. I know that it's going here. Okay. Close. Okay. Do I absolutely need this micro thing underneath it? Do I play any online games? Yeah, I play a few online games. And yeah, it's probably going to have a fair delay if you're in Germany. I have it set to minimum delay time. But, you know, distance. But yes, I do play a few online games. I used to play World of Warcraft. I play some Final Fantasy right now. Trying to get into like a 40k Arma unit just because I want to try it out. You know what? No, we're going to leave this bottom tuft thing off because I think it looks better without it. I prefer that to sit flush, but I think we'll just have to make do. We'll see how I feel about it later. I can always peel it off. Did I have an exhaust pipe that went around here? No, these went in here. Which I don't know. I probably don't need this to sit out like that. That's probably just a little bit too much. So we also have this one. That's going to be just a little too visually busy. Is there a good place to put this gun? I could just aim it up like that. No, that's a lot of space on between his legs. I don't need it there. I would love to have this gun somewhere. I mean, maybe I could just lay it across the front here, but that's, you know, that's starting to get a little bit packed. And I think that's just a little too visually busy for that. We will consider, because I can add the orc can fit back here if I want to do the dead orc. Could do something like that. But we'll see. Gosh, this is pretty. See, what other bits can we add to our boy here? So we got his shield. We could theoretically do a wolf pelt somewhere. Just the way this is shaped, I think I'm just gonna file this down. But I can't do that right now because I'm waiting for, I need to wait 24 hours for this green stuff to harden. Because it's kind of supporting some stuff. Which leaves me with, why isn't this slotting in properly? Should sit there like that. Let's try it again. You might actually have to use green stuff to fit this in, because it is kind of not behaving. It's like it's attached to nothing. There we go. That should do the trick. That's okay if that's attached. All right. He is looking great. What do we think? Here. Maybe hang the Ardbuster thing on it at like sideways, like it's stuck on that one. Okay, yeah, we can do that. There we go, let that sit. And it's okay that it's on there, like, awkwardly, because it is a wreck. We want it to look like, you know, something bad has happened to it. I probably want to keep the tire... These tires. We want to keep the tires separate for now. I was thinking about having a tire on the front end, but I think that's too much. Well, maybe. Alright, we'll think about it, because we're actually, now that we've kind of got this in place, it might not be quite as crowded as originally anticipated. I do have this wolf skull bit. That could be fun to go, like, back here. Nah. Just not really feeling it. I kind of needed to adjust some of these STLs for the curvature of their, of the armor. How gorgeous this guy looks. Unfortunately, I think I've hit an impasse. I've hit a point where I have to come to a stop on account of needing to have the green stuff hardened. I need this green stuff back here to set, because it is actually kind of physically supporting this engine. I'm excited, though. Alright, so, with that impasse, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and call it a night. Team Touchable, thank you for joining me and chatting with me. It was actually really nice to have a viewer who chats. But also, Animozy and Ice Wizards, I can see you there in chat. I know you're my lurkers, and I do not forget my lurkers, for I was once one of you. But, that's all for today. We made some excellent progress. I'll have some pictures up on my Twitter soon. I am super excited at how well we did with it. We've just kind of hit a point where we just need to be patient. And, you know, sometimes when you're working your magic, you just gotta be patient. Let your spells coalesce. So y'all have a magical evening, and there will be a quiz next time. Goodbye.